Hey Ranger Nation, today we're back with another video, and this is Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 13, Tuba Tron. And this is kind of a nice episode. This kind of reminds me of a wholesome episode of like mentoring, and it kind of reminded me of stuff back in Mighty Morphin, back in the first season. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. But before we do, if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Without further ado, let's start this review. We open up with everyone in the park. The other Rangers, bar Ravi, are playing kind of like American football or catch, where Ravi is actually looking over at the kind of like lake, I think. And he notices a kid playing on a tuba, so he decides to sketch him. As the ball from the Rangers land by Ravi, he kind of hides his artwork because he doesn't want anyone to know that he's an artist, and then says that he is reading the kind of the Grid Battle Force handbook because Zoe was like, hey, come and play, and she's like, no, he's like, no, I'm just kind of reading this. She's like, oh, okay, cool, see you later. At this point, this is when Ravi notices that the kid is being bullied, and by who knew that it'd be the same kid from Ninja Steel, Brody's brother. So they got the same like kid actor to come in and do that. This kid and his friends are bullying the kid with the tuba by pouring soda in it, which then causes Joey to go, I'm giving this up right now, to kind of like dump his tuba. Ravi introduces himself and says, hey, are you okay? And the kid says his name is Joey. He was thinking about giving up the tuba anyway because it's lame, which, you know, is a lie. It's just because he's just been kind of bullied. Joey recognizes that Ravi is a instructor at the gym, so he decides then to kind of ask him for training, which then Ravi says, yeah, no problem. As they walked away from the tuba, Roxy teleports in and turns it into Tuba Tron. This is the main monster that we're going to get for this episode, as well as the next episode, which is coming up after this video. So with this, Tuba Tron has the ability to use his sound waves to kind of knock back the Rangers and kind of hurt them. But because the tuba is kind of slightly off or something, he's not able to control his attacks and where it goes. The Rangers all morph into their suits and they start attacking. Roxy then decides to jump in unmorphed and starts fighting the Rangers as well, which I'm kind of really glad about because we're seeing a lot more unmorphed fights. Because of this, Roxy then decides to morph and they start fighting each other. At this point, they kind of lose and the Rangers kind of like force them back, which then makes Tuba Tron and Roxy teleport away. Meanwhile, in the cyber dimension, they talk about Tuba Tron getting an upgrade so that they can go back to the Rangers, but we don't see this just yet. In the next scene, Joey turns up to the gym and actually finds Ravi, and then all of a sudden Joey is going to be using the martial arts training to actually defeat his enemies or the people bullying him, and Ravi actually has to step in and say, no, you're not. You know, martial arts is there to help defend yourself, not to actually hurt people. This kind of sinks into Joey and he's like, yeah, okay. But I kind of thought that he wasn't, that he was just going to use it anyway. We now get kind of a training montage of them practicing, and they now try to focus on a kick that doesn't really work. Joey can't learn a tornado kick and then goes to the whole point of, I can't do this, what's wrong with me? Grr. Ravi says, look, you will get this in time, but you know, what do you do to kind of like have fun? And he says, play the tuba, but that doesn't happen anymore because he's just binned the tuba. Shouldn't have binned it, kid. Should have just kept it. Back at Grid Battle Force, Ravi is getting ready these instruments that his grandfather owned, and he's kind of polishing up to give the tuba that he mentioned. I think he mentions that he's going to give the tuba to Joey as a, you know, hey, you kind of lost it, you know, you binned yours, so you can have this one. You know, a symbol of friendship. At this point, the commander comes in and says, you know, what are you doing? Rangers can't have these like hobbies because it takes it away from what they're doing. And Ravi's like, no, I'm giving this for a friend, is it okay? And the commander says, yeah, that's no problem. At this point, you've got Ben and Betty. They've walked in before, or they've just walked in now, and they really want to start a sister-brother band, which is fine. So they start, I think, Betty takes a trumpet, where Ben takes a saxophone, which is kind of cool. I was like, that's the cooler one you've got right there. The saxophone is kind of like clogged up, so they do this whole plan of kind of unclogging it, which they do, but it has a whole load of liquid thing inside it, which then when they actually connect this device to actually blow it all out, it actually sends them flying out the room. And I love the guy in the background when you see it. He just looks at them and goes, and walks off like, oh no, rather than go help them, just goes, it's a reoccurring thing, isn't it? And that's mainly it. We then come back to the gym where training has kind of finished. and Ravi says, hey, I've got a present for you, where he then walks Joey over to like where they were sitting, where all his stuff was. Joey finds out that Ravi is a really good artist, and he's saying like, what do you think about this? And Ravi's like, oh, I'm not ready to show people my artwork or anything like this, so I don't know what to do. As Ravi is distracted, Joey takes one of the drawings of Ravi and Roxy together and puts it in his bag. Again, you kind of think, oh, what's he doing? But again, it's for a major plot thing at the very end. Ravi then hands over the tuba and says, here you go, this is for you. And Joey's like, oh my God, thank you very much. Are you sure? He's like, yeah, that's no problem. Joey then takes the tuba to the park and then starts playing it. Now, previously, I think in the episode, the Rangers have mentioned that in case Tuba Tron comes back, that they have a detection for tuba music. Can you imagine that only one person plays tuba music in the whole Power Ranger world right now? With this, Joey starts playing the tuba music, and the Rangers then get this sort of detection, and they rush to the park. The Rangers see that Joey is playing the tuba, and they're like, oh, kind of false. It's a false thing, but it's glad that he's playing music. And all of a sudden, Roxy and Tuba Tron turn up, ready to fight once again. Tuba Tron has his upgrade, which I have forgotten to mention, that when Tuba Tron gets his upgrade, when he fires the blast at Blaze, it knocks him all the way through. So therefore, he's ready. It's up to more power. And then that's it, pretty much. With this, the Rangers do a quick morph and they go straight into fighting. But they're finding it very hard because Tuba Tron is attacking them with his sound waves, which knocks the Rangers back and forward. And Joey actually watches the fight. The Rangers mention that if they have a sound wave that is the same or the same frequency, then they'll be able to stop the monster from attacking. And Joey then jumps in to save the Rangers. So when Tuba Tron fires his tuba blast, Joey fires his tuba blast, which you kind of think that means that Joey has ridiculously powerful lungs that can create this massive blast. That why hasn't this happened anywhere else? Either way, Joey then disables the add-on for Tuba Tron, and thus therefore the Rangers then go in to kind of attack, and that's pretty much it. The data chip has fallen off Tuba Tron, and Roxy grabs it and teleports out. She hands it to Scruzzle, and Scruzzle's like, aha, nope, that's damaged, try again, make sure you get it the next time. Nate has this great idea of trying to make the same frequency. He records the sound from the tuba onto his morpher, and then he sends it to be kind of uploaded. Tuba Tron then goes off to actually fight, and then the Rangers take it down. We have Giga Drones appearing in the city, which then Devon kind of runs off, gets in his Zord, and then kind of fights and takes them down quite quickly. Because the sound wave has been recorded, it uploads to Ravi and his Gorilla Zord, and then he uses it, and everything is defeated. The Rangers move on because they've won the fight for the day. Back at the gym, Joey starts talking about what he did for the Rangers, and everyone's like, oh, that's really cool. You've done really well. So Ben and Betty have their instruments. They start going to the mat to start playing. This is when the bullies come in. And again, they just try and pick on Ben and Betty, but you think that maybe they would push them back or something, but they don't. So after this, the bully grabs the saxophone from Ben and starts playing it. But as he turns around to his friends, he sprays them with more foam. This therefore makes the bully really angry and is about to take it out on Ben and Betty. But Joey jumps in and actually does the tornado kick, knocks the cap off the bully's head, and that's pretty much it. So, everyone's like, oh my God, you're amazing. And Ravi goes, cool, you've done that move. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you if you're doing it. Joey then hands a picture over to Ravi and says, I got this for you. You're an amazing artist. And this is just a way to say thank you. Ravi doesn't obviously show his friends, but he's like, oh wow, thanks, that means something to me. And then Joey gives Ravi a hug, and the episode ends there. So my final thoughts for this episode's really, really sweet. To me, this showed a lot of kind of wholesomeness from Mighty Morphin, and they took little bits from that. So I'm kind of glad that they did. It just made me smile quite a bit. It was a good, solid episode. If I could only nitpick, it's possibly that Joey was able to use the tuba to send out sound waves to attack a monster. But yeah, I really like Roxy in this one. I think that her character is possibly one of the best in Beast Morphers, because it feels like her character is well rounded, it's well flushed out, and it's just awesome. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this episode. It's not one of my favorites, but it's up there with like kind of one of the better ones. So Ranger Nation, what's your thoughts on this? Have you seen the episode? Have you not? What are your thoughts? Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, then hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And as always, Ranger Nation, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.